Alright, so for everyone who was not around at the beginning of all of this, which really kind of wasn't the beginning that I knew about anyway, which I think was not really so much the real beginning of it. I don't think I even really want to know when the real beginning of it was in terms of my rights being violated and all that. But yeah, for anyone who was not around at the beginning, was it 2010? Yeah, 2010. Today today was like old times. I started that video when I was talking about Leonardo DiCaprio, and when I started talking about him this morning, and I was filming it, what I was saying to myself was, I will not call him a pig. Don't call him a pig. You know, don't swear. Don't call him a pig. And I didn't. You know, I didn't. Certainly, that's you know, an advancement for me because I've tried to do that less, but it was like that every day. I don't even know how quickly it got to be like that. A week, 2 weeks, a month and a half maybe. After I realized that he was interested in me, which was, I have to say, still something I had never expected would ever happen to me. And it really has all been so very sad in its own way. You know, I mean, I don't know. Please stop hacking my phone. I really do not want people to hack my phone. Please don't hack my email. Please don't do those things. I feel like, you know, I mean, I don't want to date celebrities. I didn't then. It seemed to me even at the time, when I was just kind of thinking it over, and before they had really gotten to be insulting, it just seemed like a bad idea. It seemed like something that was not going to make me happy. It seemed like I did not want to have to go through all that. You know, I didn't want to have to deal with all of a sudden, you know, millions, billions of people knowing who I am. Probably 1 billion people know who that guy is. And I just did not want to have to live like that. I did not, you know, and I feel like that had a lot to do with my ambivalence. And then it all just turned into something that was just never, I never could have imagined it would turn into what it was. And I still am not really quite sure why it did, you know. I mean, I never offered a particular expectation of what kind of person I was going to be. You know, and I feel like I never really know how to explain this in a way that ever makes sense to the people who think it's all right to treat someone like this. You know, and so I guess I've been thinking about this. I was thinking about like a joke I was thinking about a joke that I was gonna say. Maybe it's just like, all right, you know, I mean, is this how you thought it was gonna be? You know, when you were sitting there thinking, all right, I'm gonna tell Lena that I'm interested. Did you think it would be like this 6 years later? You know, did you think about this? To be like, all right, well, first, you know, I'm gonna start calling her vagina names, and then I'm gonna promote all these crimes, and then 6 years later, you know, she will have, you know, managed to survive 4 years of being homeless. You know, and I'll get her, you know, I will have seen, like, you know, all these hours of her in the shower, and I'll make fun of her to my friends, and I'll turn her into this laughing stock for the entire world, and all these people who have no idea really what happened, I will make them think that she's the bad person who did something wrong. That was your idea of, you know, that's your idea of romance there. You know, I don't know what to say. I feel like, I don't know. Again, I get back to the idea again and again. Like, what did you want? What did you think? What did you think I was going to be like? Because this is really it. This is really what I'm like, you know. And if you, I don't know. I mean, was the image of me the way that I looked? So you expected me to be a particular way, and you kept trying to make me that way, and make me that way, and make me that way, and force me to be that way, and punish me if I wasn't going to be that way. But I never told you I was going to be any particular way, you know. And the things that I say about please don't do this, it would not cost you anything not to do those things. It's not about how I'm telling you have to be treated. Right? This has nothing to do with my telling you how you have to accept being treated, you know, according to your gender or anything else. This is about me saying, no, you do not have the right to treat me this way. You do not have the right to invade my life this way. You do not have the right to say such terribly personal things about me on a regular basis all the time. You know, like you know, even if we were in some kind of intimate relationship, you would not have the right to talk to me like this. It really, again, it would cost you nothing whatsoever to stop doing these things. And I that sense of, maybe I want to see things like you are spoiled, you are hyper privileged, you are, and I've said all those things, right? And I don't, maybe I need to see it some other way. It doesn't, it doesn't, I think it does, I think it doesn't affect your life in a way that you realize. Your attitudes do not affect your life in a way that you realize. You know, you live with a certain type of material comfort, for lack of a better word, that perhaps is making your life poorer in a way that you don't understand. You know, your attitudes about women, yeah, you'll always have someone to sleep with if you want. There will always be beautiful women for you to sleep with if you want to, because you're rich, and that's it, though. You know, I mean, if you did not have all the money that you had, you would have to find other ways to get those things. You know, like being a nice guy. You would, to a certain extent, you would have to do that. Even just to get that one thing, you would have to have something else going for you, right? And I don't even, it's kind of like a coarse way to talk about it, but there's so many other things that you don't have in your life because I don't know. I mean, I've tried to understand it. So all these ways, you know, like the environment that you are in, and the way that you have been like encouraged to think about women is like starving your life, again, for lack of a better way to put it, of even having an idea about women, what women really are like, you know, and what nice women are really like, you know, what women who have something else in their brains all day besides what they look like are really like. Not to be offensive about models. I mean, models have to think about what they look like. That's not really the issue, you know, but it's not, I don't know how to describe it for you. It's like a world that you don't know anything about, you know, which is really, really important to me and the way that I want to live and the way that a lot of other people want to live too. It is sad. It's sad. I think it's, you know, the things that have happened to me are very, very sad. I think the way that your life is seems to me to be pretty sad in its own way. You really want to be one of those guys, you know, 50 years old with the models all flitting around the pool and you don't have anybody in your life that you're really close to that way because you've just never been able to form that kind of connection with someone. It's not going to be me. I'll tell you that right now. You know, I don't want to. I'm not interested. I don't want to. You know, I really don't. But that doesn't mean that I have to like have no thoughts about it. This was something that took over my life, and there was nothing I could do about it. I wonder if you ever thought about it that way. I never asked for you to like me. I never asked for that, you know. And then it was like all of a sudden I was just being like pummeled because it didn't turn out to be the way you wanted it to be, and that's not fair. That never should have happened to me. And I guess I was trying to think about it too also in terms of some kind of metaphor that would help you understand this better. It's, you know, I mean, these environmental issues, you know, recycling, not shooting endangered animals, you know, you seem to feel like that stuff is important. Hopefully you really do feel like that stuff is important. It's not just like your celebrity charity cause in some way. You know, there are lots of places where people don't have to recycle, and they can shoot endangered animals, and they can pollute things and do all of these things. And it seems to me that you can understand that it would be better if they didn't. But there's nothing stopping them, and so they do. You know? And I wonder if you have thought about that, if you have thought about how you have the ability to do things that you really shouldn't do, even though you're able to do them, and there are other people who are doing them, and nothing is really stopping you. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I mean, yeah, you can date a 19-year-old. You really shouldn't. You know, you really shouldn't. It's really gross. You can hack my phone. You really shouldn't. I'm telling you not to, you know, and it's against the law. You can promote all sorts of misogynistic things. You really shouldn't. You know, you can, but you shouldn't. That idea of things that you are able to do that you should not do. Even situations perhaps where there's no law against it, you know, because the laws have not caught up to, you know, what the real morality is, you know, to make the choice when perhaps there is nothing stopping you. It seems to me that is something that you can understand if you can extrapolate that idea, you know, from the other types of things that you do that are charitable and thoughtful for other people, you know, to human beings. You don't seem to care that much about human beings. At least you don't seem to care that much about human beings who have so much less power than you. So much less power than you. Not only just in terms of race and gender, you know, also just in terms of like where you are financially. It's just you are at the very, very top, right? And most of the world is not anywhere near that. And women and children, you know, are generally less powerful than men. That's true. And I guess I don't know another way to talk about it besides that. I really don't. Hopefully you will think about it.